Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless and welcome to another Scout Guide episode. Today I'm going to be driving in my 1390, the French Tier 9 light tank, and we are on the map Murovanka. Now if you pay attention to the game here, it looks like we are the only light tank, and this is why I'm going to be taking this aggressive position. Sometimes if there are multiple light tanks on the map, you're going to want to avoid taking this position just because it's easier to get countered. I'm going to pause the replay here for a second. So when you spawn on this side of the map, on the north base, you have more of a favorable chance to spot for your team. And if you actually look this between the E and F line, you'll notice that this center area is a little bit skewed in your favor, and therefore you have an easier time getting here and an easier time spotting into the enemy locations. And so I'm just going to go ahead and take this location here. I like to push right into this bush, and you can spot anything that crosses in front of you without risk of getting lit. You can have other light tanks counter you, but for now it looks like everything is going okay. And occasionally if you're sneaky, you can use some of these trees as cover like I'm doing here, and I know that I'm not going to get lit unless these guys have exceptional view range. So the FV 4005 is crossing in front of me. I'm able to put an easy 4 shots in, and it looks like the M60 got punished as well for being spotted by me early like that, and he's already down to half his health, and that is a powerful tier 10 tank. Getting him out of the game is going to be super effective, and so I know sitting there is not going to, net me any more spotting damage, most likely. The odds are if tanks like the SDRV Conway is sitting towards the back, they're not going to get spotted by me by just sitting there. And so I typically, in a light tank, will like to sit in a position like this, and it allows me to shoot at tanks that could potentially push across right from the center point here on the mini-map, as well as come around here. You can also turn around and shoot things that are behind you, as well as spot things that could potentially be pushing around. This E5 is in the middle, and so he is spotting these guys once in a while, and I'm just looking for my shots. Now, this map is really big, and it really favors light tank play, but smart light tank play. You don't want to be YOLOing too early in this game, trying to get arty, whatever. Their EBR could easily counter us, and we want to be effective. And being effective in a light tank means staying alive as long as possible. Realistically, you have the maneuverability. You want to be the last person dead on your team if you do lose. That's the kind of mindset you want to have. So this 277 is giving me his side. He gives me one shot, go for a lower plate shot, miss that completely, but that's okay. We were able to get at least one shot into the side, and I see the EBR is pushing into the city, and that's why I am not quite reloading yet. But I decide, okay, he's probably not going to give me a shot, and so I go ahead and put a clip in, and I'm seeing that this E5 is most likely going to die. The EBR is within clipping, but I also don't want to risk it. If I get into that, if he was less HP, I could definitely take him on, but considering how finicky the hitboxes on those things are with their big tires, if I bounce or miss one of my shots, I'm going to be a sitting duck, and there's nothing that's going to protect me, and I'll have to run for the 20 seconds that my clip is reloading, and there's a good chance he could take me down in that time. So I'm just not going to pursue him at this point. I know that my hit points are super valuable. I like to break down my gameplay into 3 phases. Phase 1 is going to be your initial spotting, your free bonus damage, whether you can get some shots in, get some free assist. You notice we're still in phase 1 because, well, no, we're not in phase 1 anymore. Actually, I'm going to pause this real quick while I talk. Phase 1 is that initial spot where I got like a clip into that FV, and I also got like 1,000 assists. That was phase 1. The majority of most games is going to be phase 2, which is now stalemate. Most games and maps are balanced in a way that you're going to be fighting the majority of your battles in this kind of stalemate phase where one flank could possibly win, one phase could not. Phase 2, which is a stalemate portion of the game, is where you want to just stay alive and get free damage the best you can. And phase 3, which we'll talk about when we get there, is when you're going to be pushing and taking advantage of opportunities. Now, I'm sitting here in this bush because I realize that the EBR hasn't spotted me. He doesn't know where I am, and he knows that Artie is potentially vulnerable. I figure he's got nothing better to do. Now that the E5 is dead, he's going to push. And so I decide I'm going to ambush him. I sit in this bush, knowing I won't get lit, and I wait for the EBR. Now, he's committed to me for some reason. I go ahead and get a little ram damage here in case I miss one of my shots, but I'm able to snap a shot around and take him out. I take minimal damage for that, and I'm able to confirm the kill on the enemy light tank. EBR at tier 9 is very dangerous, and so I'm able to protect our Artie, and I'm doing my job right now as a light tank by covering the area of the map that is not being watched, which is right down the middle, and I'm countering their light tank play from pushing, and also if there was some kind of push happening in the middle, I would see it. And that is the best way I'm able to provide good intel, good information, and have some kind of effect on the game that I'm playing here, outside of sitting in a corner or just suiciding like that EBR did. Now in his defense, he probably didn't know I was there, and he probably thought he would be able to go in and kill Artie, but unfortunately he went across he bumped into Dauntless, and that wasn't the smartest play. So this object 257 is broadside. This bush right here that I'm in now is also very powerful, because anything pushing from the 0 line you will be able to spot, and if you're lucky you can get shots into them like this. 257, the odds of me penetrating him very, very low, but I'm going to take it, and it's for 2 reasons. One, you could get a lucky pen, you could track him for Artie, but the other aspect of that is you're going to make him uncomfortable. He's going to be like, oh shoot, somebody is shooting at me and I can't just sit here, because in that position he was harassing our guys a little bit. And so just making tanks feel a little bit on edge, uncomfortable with their location, can definitely push a flank into your favor. Now if you pay attention to the mini-map as to what is going on right here, the 1, 3, or the 1, 2, and 3 line have lost. There are 3 heavy tanks pushing in, the Object 277, the Object 705, and the 60 TP. They are all pushing in, and we have 1 4005. Now, as a light tank, there is not a whole lot I can do in this situation. What am I going to do frontally against an Object 277? Now, it could be a distraction for them right now, but I noticed that we are winning this side, and I'm going to pause it again for a second. I was able to just take out that Conway, and our team is going to win this flank. If you just notice, that Bat Chat just clipped out one of our guys. And I know that that Bat Chat, if he's using his top gun, has a very, very long reload. I think it's like 50 seconds long. I know my reload is half of that. And I decide, okay, Bat Chat, if you're sitting there, this is the time to act. This is phase 3 now, where most of the team members are dead, and the game is going to be decided in the next few minutes. I know that as a light tank, I'm the only one. If that Bat Chat's left living, towards the end of the game, it's going to be very, very difficult to deal with. And I know that while he's vulnerable on his reload, I need to take him out, and I know I can clip him. This Bat Chat's behavior, he's not shooting at me, he's backing away, he knows he's screwed, and his body language, per se, is what's causing me to push in aggressively. He knows that he can't do anything. I read his bluff, and I know that I can take him out. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish him off here, and this STRV is shooting at me. I need to get out of here just because Artie could bomb me, and we have lost the side, the north base. And so I'm just going to push back here, and I'm just keeping that building between me and the STRV. That's also very important. Notice line of sight and use it. And then I'm going to push over here. This 277 doesn't see me coming until it's too late. I'm able to put one into him, go for the track and miss. It's okay. He's going to die here in a second. And we're able to finish him off. T30 is sitting here. I'm going to put one into him, and I'm just going to bail. Now you notice I'm already at 3,500 damage. I'm at 1,200 assist, and I'm still relatively healthy. This intel is going to be super important when we go to counter these guys pushing our base. I'm a light tank. I have good view range, I have good camouflage, and the best thing I can do is go back and spot for our team. So I'm going to show you the best way to do that. When the northern base falls, and most of the time you're going to be in the woods as a light tank, you're not going to be fighting on the 1-2 line. You're going to want to push really, really wide like this, and you're going to take the red line. When you take this red line here, there's a little bit of a divot, and you can actually get yourself underneath it, and you can spot effectively without getting yourself lit. So the first bush you're going to want to take is this one here, and this is going to allow you vision all the way down the A line actually, and as you can see, there's a little opening here, and so you can spot all the way down. Now right now, I'm just hanging out because nothing has been spotted and nothing is capturing our base, so there's no pressure, and there's a good chance this 277 could drive through, and also our guys aren't really in a position to shoot for me. This object is pushing behind me, and I realize, okay, I need to spot these guys. This 277 gets lit. Now I make a pretty big mistake here. Alright, so if you notice, the 60 TP is in the open, the STRV is on our base, and this 277 was in a bush, and he actually ambushed me. Somehow, I couldn't spot him even though I was super, super close to him, and now I'm kind of screwed. I've already bounced my second shot, and we'll just go ahead and resume it here. I shoot him in the turret because of my failed gun depression, and the STRV finishes me off. So hindsight, the game was going super well. I got some really good initial spotting, which is kind of what you want in that phase 1. Phase 2, we were able to finish off, well, not finish off, we were able to kill the Conway anyway, resolve kind of that stalemate. We were able to kill the EBR, and then in phase 3, we were able to go in and we finished off the 277 as well as the Bat Chat. So really effective play. We had 4 kills, we had really good damage total, and now it's just a matter of winning this thing for our team, and we did fail there. Hindsight, I could have played that a little bit more cautiously. I think I was thinking that 277 hadn't pushed up so far, and in the bush that I was in right here, I thought I would definitely spot him that close as a light tank versus a heavy tank. I really didn't think he would have the camo to sit there until I proxied him, basically. So that was a bad on my part. So, you know, learn from my mistakes, but that was the right play in my opinion. And also the fact that I bounced 2 shots on the side of that tank was also really unfortunate. I should have manually aimed those instead of auto aim. But again, that was my bad. I will tell you that we do win this game. It's pretty easy. It's just a matter of cleaning up what they have left. I believe, yeah, this 277 finishes off their artillery, and then it's just a matter of cleaning up the base. So, you know, what can we learn from this replay on how to use this map? This is a big map, and you want to use your vision as effectively as you can. If we had one kind of steamrolled them, what you're going to want to do in a light tank from the woods is push down really low, and you're going to come all the way around here, and you're going to sit in this bush here, and you're going to get vision on the woods, and then eventually, if there's nothing more to spot, you can push your way through these bushes and sit right around here, which I'll probably show in another replay if I get that situation for you guys. But, you know, this is a good example of how to play safely, effectively, and take out your opponents one by one when you have the opportunity to. Those moves that I did, I could have easily done even if I wasn't in an autoloader tank. The EBR would have been a little bit more difficult to take out, but again, taking advantage of your speed, your camouflage, your view range, getting into positions early and aggressively, and then falling back when you know you need to, playing sneakily, watching flanks that no one else is watching, protecting your artillery, and then ultimately moving in when you know that you have an opportunity to catch someone off guard, finish them off, and then eventually, you know, again, I failed, but getting vision, whether it's aggressively when you're winning or falling back and trying to get vision on your base, because these are all roles that you can do the best. And if you die early, your team has a lot less chance of winning. So overall, not a bad result for my AMX 1390. I think we had about 5K combined. I'll put the post-game stats up right after this video that you can check out for yourself. But yeah, that's how I like this spot on the map, Murovanka. Again, I'll probably post different videos of this map in the future just because it's always going to play a little differently, but that's a good example of how to use mechanics well. And tomorrow I'll be posting a video on how to spot from the south side. So if you like this video, I really appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe for more content like this and give it a like below if you thought this was helpful. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.